West Rural Senator Jamaica Party. West Central is his constituency. He was in West Rural, up where Juliet Cuthbert Flynn is the Member of Parliament. An event for party workers. You know, you have to motivate the party workers. They connect you to everything. If they are demotivated, if they are less than optimal, you will lose an election. And so Holness and the team, seeing it necessary to talk to and to show their appreciation to this group. This is what he said about Lorna Robertson, aka Nikki, the woman who was abducted 2 weeks ago on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew in the vicinity of Donner Avenue.
Having discussed the very tragic circumstances under which one of our workers was abducted in southeast St. Andrew. We have been taking note of it. We hear certain steals happening, but we take very close note of it. And I'm very hopeful that the police will eventually find a lead, because such a crime should not go unsolved. We have decided that we will put up a reward for information of 3 million Jamaican dollars for information leading to the arrest of those persons who abducted our worker. We find it a very troubling occurrence, and we do not intend to stop until we find out who are the people behind it, whoever they are connected to.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness there speaking to JLP workers in West Rural St. Andrew. $3 million the party is putting up for information about the abduction of Lorna Robertson, aka Nikki. There is some preliminary information that has come to us here at Nationwide. The police are working on several leads, but I won't say much about what we have so far, but we hope that they find this lady alive and well. The next thing concerns the crime stats. The Prime Minister defending the government's contribution to the situation we have, where murders continue to decline, major crime continues to decline. And at that same workers' meeting, West Rural St. Andrew last Friday, he defended the contribution of his own administration in light of criticism that they deserve none of the credit for the gains being realized at this time.
I read a comment, a rather belated comment, by someone who they welcome the reduction in murders, but the government can't take any credit for it. It's the work of the police, and that the government starved the police of resources, which is why it took them so long. But facts are facts. This administration has spent 3 times what previous administrations have spent. This administration has spent $90 billion on national security in our 9 years, compared to $28 billion from our previous administration, 2007 to 11, and from 2012 to 2016.
The point was made by the Prime Minister that murders have declined by 44% between January 1 and June 14 this year when compared to 2024. And he says for what the government has invested, the country's security apparatus is much stronger.
We have totally refleeted the security forces. When you talk about border security and protection, when you talk about the ability to have aerial surveillance, radar systems, the introduction of technology, no other government has done that. Today, our national security apparatus is stronger than it has ever been in the history of Jamaica.
Andrew Holness there. He said something else, concerning criminals and, common practice. I mean, it has been made famous in song for those of us who weren't born when this thing started as a thing for criminals to do. You would hear songs about Tony Brown and George Flash and being involved in certain things and gone to Cuba or gone to this place to cool out, evade law enforcement, wait until things die down before coming back. There was a song by Vibes Cartel, where he was singing about the Gully Gaza clash involving himself and Mavado. And there was a particular part of a song he did where he said, people are right, Mama Portia. Portia Simpson Miller was Prime Minister at the time. He said, people are right, Mama Portia, and I beg her, please, to send Mavado and Cartel overseas. Yeah? Not saying that Mrs. Simpson Miller, I'm not saying Mrs. Simpson Miller had any role in sending any criminal overseas, but in keeping with the practice of criminals, people responsible for, the police believing responsible for a spike in murders or be behind several murders. And in the days gone by, politicians, their politician friends would arrange for them to fly out and go cool out. It was in that vein that Cartel added those bars to his song. And then there was this song by Baby Sham, where he said that he and his friends would go chill out over Turks after stuffing ballot box and committing some crimes to ensure that, I think it was, I remember those days when hell was my home. That same song, yes. Yeah, chill out over Turks. So it was a thing for the criminals to do that from way back in the day. Come forward now, Holness is saying, well, that old-time tactic of wreaking havoc in Jamaica and then flying out, go chill out until things die down. Those days are gone.
We have changed the reward-risk function of crime. Before, if you get involved in crime, it is likely you get a big reward and you enjoy it. Not so today. And not only have we invested in our national security, technology and buildings and our officers and leadership and doctrine, but we have invested in strengthening our partnerships with our major development partners, particularly the United States. So all of those who feel that they are safe in other countries, they make a mistake. All of them who believe that they can go to other countries and send back guns here and order murders here, we are strengthening our relationship with all the countries where we know Jamaicans are, because even if you are there, we are going to get you.
And they say art imitates life, you know, Kevin. Because you see that thing the Prime Minister spoke about? Going to foreign and sending back barrel with the thing them in there. The same song. Baby Sham. He spoke about Mikey mother fly him out, cause she get a loan. Mikey go to foreign and go turn Al Capone. Make whole heap of money and say, you know, our own. Now we like the city and that is well known. You see the Mikey call me up on the phone. Mr. Mikey, me get the thing them out of luck now. Me squeeze 7 and the whole of them are duck now. Yes! That was the song. Well, just one of the songs in which the youngster growing up, his friend gone to foreign, better life. And the better life is to make money in foreign, send back the thing them, come to Jamaica, for lock the ends and to advance criminal enterprise. Art and life commingling. So you have to listen to the DJs very keenly, you know, because they give you an insight into what really happens in the streets. But according to Holness, this administration is ensuring that the man who used to send the thing them will be looking over his shoulder, wondering when he's going to be caught. And the people here receiving the thing them, and in recent weeks, there have been a lot of the police them intercept, eh? But he says, the Prime Minister, that his administration is putting things in place to ensure that that link is broken. And he says, look, you remember one time, Kevin, when so-and-so gang or that and that individual was so powerful they could have locked down a whole country. Holness is saying, boy, the days of criminal organizations and gangsters being stronger than the state, he says that must not be allowed to happen, and those days are done, he says.
What this administration did very quietly and very strategically, was to build the capacity of the Jamaican security apparatus to know where it is now greater than the powers of the gangs and criminals. We are now able to overcome them. So they commit crimes and believe we don't know, or we're not going to find them. We have built out the capacity and we will continue to build it out. There must be no gang that is stronger than the Jamaican state. No criminal that can challenge the Jamaican state. There has never been in the last 30 years a time when for 3 consecutive years the main index of safety and security, the murder rate, has declined. Never ever been a time.
Holness talking about crime and defending his corner, saying, how can you speak about the administration not having any responsibility for the decline in crime? And if it is examined, it will be found to be an argument that is seriously wanting, lacking credibility, and in my view, doesn't fly as a sensible political tactic. But the people in the PNP, and you have to say the PNP because they're the ones with this line, they'll tell you that these messages that we put out there, that we use on the campaign trail, this is not a figment of someone's imagination, It's a disciplined projection of the line we want to take hold in people's thinking as they contemplate the success or failure of this administration to manage crime. And it is based on science, they'll tell you. Yes, they'll tell you that they test these things. They have groups of 5, groups of 13, focus group, odd numbers, so that if you have to vote, you have a tiebreaker. And they run these things through them and say, which of these messages you think will resonate with the people? And why? What's the strategy then what are the tactics? Strategy broad, tactics, nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts. How do we advance these messages? So it might sound ridiculous to me and you, but they'll tell you that they are the product of careful consideration and planning. I firmly believe that a better line for the PNP to take, and I said it this morning, would be to say, well, you used a lot of states of emergency. We told you not to. You didn't see the benefit then, and you're seeing the benefit now because you've adopted approaches that we said would have yielded better results. I try to take the credit there and derail it there. But I just believe that anybody who's listening and thinking, and anybody who's not a rabid partisan, will not believe that the administration deserves no credit for the gains we're seeing in murder, especially when the administration, the opposition rather, on record multiple times in the past, calling press conferences to talk about crime spiking, murder spiking, and crime being out of control, and what is the government doing? Suggesting that government action lies at the heart of fighting crime. It has been so, it will always be so. And so that line, I don't know, we have lived and seen focus groups get things spectacularly wrong from time to time, and I'm suggesting, PNP, that this is one of those things that your focus group got wrong. This line, this attack line, the government deserves zero credit for the crime reductions. Oh my. It is silly, in my view.